Today's class is biological synthesis of nanoparticles. In the previous classes, I have inculcated about the physical synthesis and also the chemical synthesis. So, I have studied several methods of physical and chemical synthesis of nanoparticles. And today's class is biological synthesis of nanoparticles. In case of biological synthesis, only 2% of the nanoparticles are being produced. Regarding chemical synthesis, 90% of the nanoparticles are produced by the chemical synthesis and 8% of the nanoparticles are being produced by the physical synthesis. And in this case, biological synthesis, only 2% of the nanoparticles are being produced. Okay. Biological synthesis in the sense it not only include uh, microorganisms, it includes certain plant extracts also. So that plant extracts are also effectively producing the nanoparticles. But till now the mechanism is unknown, how the particles are being produced, how the size is being reduced, till now how the nucleus is formed in the nanoparticles. So all these points have been yet to be identified. Okay. The biological synthesis of nanoparticles, the microorganisms and the plant extracts, they are secreting enzymes and the phytochemicals which are having the capacity to reduce the particle size. So that is the mechanism of action. And biological synthesis, it is of two types. One is the intracellular and another one is extracellular. Intracellular synthesis of nanoparticles, that states that the microorganism is completely digested to collect the nanoparticles. We can't get the replication of the microorganisms by these intracellular synthesis. And the in case of extracellular synthesis, the nanoparticles are being collected from the microbial culture media. So that is the difference between the intracellular and the extracellular synthesis of nanoparticles. Let us see the mechanisms of action. Regarding bacteria, it produces the NADH dependent reductase or nitrate dependent reductase involved in the synthesis. These are the enzymes, these are the reducing enzyme that will reduce the particle size to nanoparticles. And algae, it is having the hydroxyl groups, the functional group is hydroxyl group, that involves in the reduction of the particles. And fungi, it produces the specific reduction enzymes and biometric mineralization is happened to produce the nanoparticles. And in case of yeast, it is a membrane bound activity, and cystosolic oxidoreductases and quinones are also being produced from the yeast that will be having the capacity to reduce the particles to nanoparticles. So this is about the mechanism of action. And the plant parts, what are the plant parts used to synthesize nanoparticles means number of plants and also the plant parts are being used to produce the nanoparticles. You see the neem, regarding neem, the leaves are being used to reduce the silver, produced to silver nanoparticle. The size of the nanoparticle, the shape of the nanoparticles spherical. Likewise, the Indian mallow leaves are also being used. Parthenium leaves are also used to reduce the silver nanoparticles, and tulsi roots are also used to reduce silver particles. And shape will be changing according to the plant parts is used. In banana, the peel of the banana, the fruit peel is being used to produce cadmium sulfide nanoparticles that will be producing clusters of nanoparticles. Then green tea. The green tea leaves are also used to produce gold nanoparticles. The ultimate particle will be the shape of spherical shape. The periwinkle leaves are also being used to produce palladium nanoparticle that is also spherical in shape. And alfalfa leaves are also used to produce titanium nickel alloys that will be in the spherical shape. So these are the plant parts. See. Then specifications of biologically synthesized nanoparticles. The gold nanoparticles produced by the biological means that can be used for hyperthermia cancer treatment. It's having the capacity to act to the cancer tissues. And silver nanoparticles, it is having the antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory agent. So you just see the cream which is used for treating wound, that contains, definitely that will be containing silver formulations, because that silver, normally the silver is having antibacterial property, antifungal property. That's why the silver particles, nanoparticles are very effective in the in curing wounds and other injuries. Okay. And titanium and palladium nanoparticles are utilized in catalysis, chemical sensor optoelectronic systems that is being used. And gold silver alloy nanoparticles are used to measure the vanillin content in vanilla beans, okay, to find out the vanillin level in vanilla beans. This is about the biological synthesis of nanoparticles. So the microorganisms, bacteria, algae, fungi and yeast are being effectively used to produce the nanoparticles, and certain plant pots, neem, Indian mallow, parthenium, tulsi, banana, green tea, periwinkle, alfalfa have been effectively used, and the plant pots are also given in the table that are used to produce silver, cadmium sulfate, gold, palladium and titanium nickel alloys nanoparticles, and their shapes are also given in this slide, and the specifications of biologically synthesized nanoparticles. So you study by using this slide. That's all. Thank you.